Welcome to Wine School. I'm Mike, with me as always Eric. Special guest today, we got Ryan and Ryan. Ryan Cruz. What's up, guys?
Yo.
And we are in the Hudson River AVA in New York, and we're at Robibero Winery, hanging out with Ryan, who's the winemaker here.
Yes,
grape grower.
Winemaker, grape grower, bartender, many hats.
Does it all, and we're going to drink some of the Robibero Riesling and Cab Franc. So tell us a little bit about what you're doing here, and what's the Robibero story.
All right. Well, we're a small family-run winery, established 2010, so we're still in our startup phase. Making wines we like to drink, and hopefully you like to drink them too. So that's pretty much our motto: producing wines that we like and make some money at it too.
What got you started making wines?
This was actually an opportunity that came up a few years ago. The family had invested in a piece of property that had an existing winery as a tenant, and one day they gave notice. We sat down, drank some wine, and said, let's do it. Let's start our own winery. So that's pretty much.
Awesome. And that's what was right out here?
Well, actually, their vineyard was wiped out in a harsh winter. It gets pretty cold in New York, and the Northeast is a cool climate growing region. They sold off all their winemaking equipment, so we had to start all over. Plant new grapes, purchase new equipment, and start pretty much from scratch.
And how many wines are you guys making?
We're roughly making a dozen different types of wines. Pretty much highlighting the Riesling in New York. We make 3 different Rieslings. Cab Franc is a very important grape in New York. It's used for not only blending like in Bordeaux, but also for straight varietals. It's a very prominent grape in New York State. So we're focusing on Cab Franc based blends and Rieslings, crisp, refreshing whites, and kind of an old world climate with a new world approach, a new world attitude.
Awesome. And so the 3 different Rieslings, you were talking earlier, you said some are dried, some are sweet.
Yeah, it's a very versatile grape. People are used to sweet because they're more common, but there's some nice dry styles out there. So we make a sweet, one in the middle, and one dry like over here, which is a very unique style because they're usually sweet. This one, we took a completely different approach. We actually aged it in neutral Chardonnay barrels. So this way, instead of having a dry Riesling with a lot of acidity, which tends to be why people put sweetness is to balance acidity, we age it in barrels on the lees and stir the lees a couple of times just to kind of lower that acidity without having any sweetness.
Cool, awesome. And that's what we're drinking today here. So this is
let's give it a whirl.
2013 dry Riesling.
Yeah, it's pretty much bone dry.
Riesling is my jam, by the way.
Yeah.
That's my go-to.
Yeah, well, New York is that's pretty much what we're known for. We're voted winemaking region of the year by Wine Enthusiasts this year, and people are taking notice of our Rieslings. That's a little cellar temperature.
Yeah, we are down here.
That's our jackets.
You're not, because you're from New York.
I'm used to it.
This is no problem for you. My California blood is I'm about to pass out from hypothermia. We got lots of lemon zest.
Yeah, definitely lemon zest.
Yeah, a lot of lemon zest on this.
Still has a nice firm acidity, which we don't want to lose, and definitely a lot of pineapple and tropical fruit notes on this.
Pineapple's a good call on that, yeah, for sure. Some minerality on it too.
Yeah, that's.
It almost has this is gonna seem weird, like a saltiness on the finish. I know there's no salt in the wine. But
Yeah, a little briny, yeah.
Yeah, a little brine. On the finish though, it's on the back.
And to enhance the pineapple notes, because it's very obvious in this wine, we used a yeast strain called Vin 13, which really can enhance pineapple.
Oh, okay.
So,
Really? Oh, cool.
It was something that was already prominent in the wine or in the grape, but the yeast really enhances it.
If you slosh it around in your tongue, you can definitely get the acid, no doubt.
Yeah, it's a very unique style of Riesling. We still do the other traditional styles, but this is just something we're trying to do different and
This is
try to
great.
experiment.
Yeah. Nice work. All right, so you do some reds as well?
Yes, as I was saying, Cabernet Franc. We also do Merlot, Cabernet Sauvignon, Petit Verdot.
Does Cab Sav and Merlot even grow out here?
It actually
it grows that great.
It grows in many different AVAs in the state, especially Long Island. They have a longer growing season,
'cause the ocean.
and they have the maritime climate, which is kind of a buffer zone.
Right.
Yeah.
So I chose to grow Cab Franc on site because it's a little more cold hardy, and I source Cabernet Sauvignon and Merlot from Long Island because it does a little better there, less risk from the cold.
So that's what we're gonna drink next, is the Cab Franc?
Cabernet Franc, yes, and they're more old world style, so
Yep.
it's a similar latitude in New York to France or Bordeaux. So it's more of that old world earthy approach.
I love that.
And so this one is not even bottled yet?
Not even bottled yet. It's actually our first estate harvest. As I was saying, we're new, so we're very excited about it.
Have you been drinking along and seeing
Yes,
this evolving?
I have.
So,
and,
so where are we in terms of trying it today? Is it-
It's at the bottling stage. Maybe I'll give it a little bit of time in the bottle. It's my first.
Wine
state-
school exclusive. The
Yeah,
first
world premiere.
World premiere.
A few select people have tried it. I've been very secretive about releasing it because everyone's
wow.
waiting. This was an experiment. We planted an acre of vines just to test out the site and see what was going to work. So now we're finally, reaping the benefits.
That's what we drove past coming up, right?
Yes,
Up the hill.
yes,
And crazy, first day of spring, there's like snow stacked
Yes,
up.
we
Do you have to bank up the snow to cover the roots and stuff? during the
Yeah,
winter?
well, we had so much snow this winter. We hill up with dirt, and then the snow just, kind of provides insulation, and it helps us. People are like, oh, what about all the snow? Is that going to be a problem? I'm like, no, snow is good because it's, very, it protects the vine. So
Right.
we just let it snow, pretty much.
Awesome. Well, let's do it. World premiere.
Let's get to it.
Cab Franc.
Yeah.
All right, so this is the Cab Franc. This is the world premiere. We're drinking it. And I'm looking at the color on this, and it is dark purple, almost like a Syrah. And that's you said that was deliberate, trying to get that level of extraction, or is this just characteristic of the fruit? I guess you don't know, right? This is the first vintage.
True, but it is an example of a good growing season for New York. It's varies so much in this climate because of the extremes. California, very consistent,
Yeah,
hot and
right.
sunny, arid. New York's more like Bordeaux, the vintages vary. So we had nice, dry, hot weather, and we can get very ripe fruit on this site and in New York, and sometimes it's cold and rainy all the time, but this was a perfect vintage, a good start.
Really cool.
So that's how
Definitely feel like you can get some soil on the nose here.
I'm really in that. Yeah, I'm with you on the soil. I'm really in the blackberry fruit family on this one.
Yeah, definitely lots of black fruits.
A nice dark fruit, and of course the classic black pepper for Cabernet Franc.
Yeah.
This is why I like to make straight Cabernet Francs.
Yeah.
People are used to them as being blending in the background to give the wine a little, kick to it. But I think they make, nice standalone.
I agree,
wines.
I'm a big fan.
Yeah, we're sheen on.
Sheen on.
But I tell you what, the mouthfeel on this is fantastic.
Yeah,
I was
I
expecting
agree.
it to be
Yep.
very fruity
Yep.
off the nose, and in it it's peppery, it's
Yeah.
spicy, it's got some complexity to
It's
it.
absolutely really nice balance.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
this is
that's
why
the-
I'm planting more. So this is, like I said, an experiment. So you can grow grapes many different sites as long as you choose the right grape for the right site. So it's a huge investment starting a vineyard, and we're a small family-run operation. So we're like, let's plant a little bit of Cab Franc, a little bit of Vidal Blanc, and see how the wine is. And finally, 4 years later, we're tasting.
Thank
it.
God it worked, right? Back to the drawing board.
And as I said, Cabernet Franc can handle the cold.
What do you guys normally pick?
It ranges, it's usually late October, early
Yeah.
November for Cabernet Franc.
Yeah.
It's a late ripener, so it kind of starts going later in the season, so it's usually October, November.
Be interesting to see how long this could lay down for too.
Yeah, I'm about to bottle it, but gonna let it, get used to its new home, kind of age a little bit, and
So when will this be available for people out there to buy it if they want to get it?
it's gonna be bottled probably in the next 2 weeks, and give it a little time to settle. Probably maybe later this year.
Okay. And can folks buy stuff on your website?
Yeah, our NewYorkWine.com. You can, see our selection, order, but you gotta quick because it's gonna go.
I think this is going to be very exciting. I think this is going to be very exciting.
Yeah, very exciting. I mean, we do, make some wines from other New York State fruit in Long Island and Finger Lakes, and I'm very excited about what our state fruit can do, what type of wines it's gonna bring.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the hell out of this. This is well done. my friend.
Yeah, it's
Well
great.
done.
Thank you.
Nice
Thank you.
work.
Yeah.
All right. So that's New York, Robibero Winery. Check them out. The Cab Franc, when it comes out, I think is, if you like that sort of thing, will be awesome.
I think it's gonna be great. And today's episode was brought to you by Physiostik, which is an awesome workout, flexibility and fun tool to use. So check it out online.
And as always, we're going out with, what is it, Ryan?
HoodwinkDover.
30 seconds of craziness.
Enjoy.
Cheers, guys. I really like this.
Yeah, this is great.